I do think so, because every model you see has like superbly flawless skin, has, you know, like absolute thin, skinny bodies and perfect, you know, body curves and everything. And I think that's very unattainable without a lot of Photoshop magic and makeup. So I think, yeah, the media does blow it up a big proportion.
Well, yeah, to a point, because sometimes if you look at the news and they're talking about obesity, you'll see them zoom in on people's stomach, which is kind of like, you know, you don't want to see that, but at the same time you know it's true, but they make it like this really disgusting thing, and like if you're like that, it's just horrible, you know, because no one wants to look like that. And then they've got like the beautiful models, and like they're posing, you know, always trying to fix how they look, and they even hold themselves to a higher standard than everyone else. But in reality, they have all this money to get the personal trainers to help them, and they have so much time because they don't have a desk job, you know? Like the rest of us, we have to find time to do it. So it's definitely a higher standard, but if you really want to become or change yourself, you can do it.
I think so, definitely. I feel like in the portray, it's only one kind of beauty. Like just one body type is beautiful, but that's, you know, it's not true, because obviously we're all different. We all have different body types, and like all these women who have these different body types are trying to attain that one perception that the media portrays as beautiful, and I think it does affect like girls and women of all ages.
I definitely think so, because like I subscribe to a lot of magazines that show women in like heels and perfect hair, perfect skin, perfect like everything, and like Cosmo, like 17, when like you see celebrities as like everyday people and they still look gorgeous. And I feel like being like Asian has something to do with how I feel about beauty as well, because I feel like beauty is, for me, is very westernized. A lot of like Asian culture idealize Western beauty as like the ideal standard for all beauty, like, you know, universal standard of beauty. Because like I know that like I've noticed that like in countries like Japan and like Thailand, Asia, there's a lot of cosmetic surgery done just to look more westernized, such as like, you know, getting their eyelids like, you know, double eyelid, like having nose job, or, you know, bigger boobs, like, you know, looking western is like what's beauty. So I really definitely feel like media has made us feel that we need to look white in order to be beautiful.
It has an attainable standard, but the amount of work and time that it takes to get to that standard is kind of unfair. That's right.
Well, you would have to buy into it. They project the image, but you know, you have to be, how to put it, you have to, they can sell it to you, but you have to buy it at the same time. So I'd say yes, they project it, but not everybody believes in it. So little things like that. But yes, you look at magazines and it's all airbrushed, and I like when, what's her name from Titanic?
Kate Winslet.
Kate Winslet, when she was on the cover of Vanity Fair, she actually wrote an article because she was very mad because they airbrushed her, and she actually like wrote a big article. She was very upset about that because she never thought she was fat, and she isn't. And I guess things too, like funny things when Renee Zellweger was supposed to be overweight for Bridget Jones's Diary, but she actually looked normal for the first time in her life. You know, little things like that. So she was supposed to be an overweight woman, but she looked like every other person I know. So I didn't get it. So yes and no. I guess that's a big wraparound answer.
I actually don't think that the media creates more pressure for women. I think that it's well, from what I've seen, I think that it's equal because, you know, it's just a matter of circumstance for me. I think that, you know, it just depends. It's very subjective and it's very circumstantial. I don't think that the media creates any tension.
I don't believe so. There'll probably just be one aspect that I believe the media would influence, and that would be height, because height is something that is, you know, it really relates to genetics pretty much, and you can't be tall or you can't say you'll be short, so that's where things get weird.
And also, it's not just the media that does it. It's people to one another without the use of television. Like, we like to compare ourselves. Everything's pretty much relative when it comes to being better than someone else, and some people value outside qualities, so that's sort of why we have to reach this unattainable, you know,
Standard.
Yeah, I feel like it does, because I work at, like, if you go in there, all their posters are of people that are fit, good looking, and like it kind of pressures you into looking like that to fit into their clothes.
I think the guy can let himself go and still get a girl, but the girl can't let herself go and still get a guy. Or she can get a guy, but she'll have a harder time getting a guy than the guy who let himself go would be getting a girl. Like,
it's interesting. I don't know. I think that it works both ways. You can't just say one or the other. Like, I don't know. Maybe but in like terms of the media, I can see where you're coming from, because we don't see very often fat girl celebrities. I agree with you.
You never see it.
Now, you see fat girl celebrities, but you don't see them with no guys, though.
Yeah, exactly. That is true. That is true.
But
who has to work harder? Who has to work harder to get
girls have to work harder.
It's girls.
Like, all right, guys have to work harder in terms of like physically hard. But in terms of how much time you put in,
guys, not girls.
Are you crazy? You can go.
How long do we go to the gym trying to get our bodies straight, like a six packs?
The same amount of time we go to the gym Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, work like an hour, is the same time every morning that they have to work on just their hair.
I don't think so. I have a sister. I'll tell you right now. I know that girls spend a lot of time. I'm not saying they don't spend time. I just don't think that they spend more time than guys. There's no such thing as saying to spend more.
All right, but look,
because they have different aspects.
We spend time on our bodies too. We spend time.
But look, is time a measurement of pressure though? Like, a guy could spend a lot of time in the gym. Rishi spends way more time in the gym than I do. But I can still get a girl though. I can still get a girl. Like, no. I didn't say that.